Veterans Voices on KX News.
He grew up in a small town on the farm, and James Strandberg, like many people, felt compelled to sign up and serve his country. In tonight's Veterans Voices, KX News' Corbin Warnock asked Strandberg about his military journey.
Born and raised in Mohall, James Strandberg has been all across the country, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, whether it was for training or for serving. Whether he was on active duty or with the Army National Guard, he's been all over, including overseas to Iraq, Thailand, and Korea. After graduating high school in 1971, that fall he went into the service and served for a little more than 6 years. He says it all happened during an incident with his brothers at Christmas.
I was out bringing a pitchfork of hay in to feed the cows. My two younger brothers, I was coming in, they went out to get the hay too. Well, there was a piece of cow chip and one going through it the other one. And I walked along, come out, and my little brother ran in front of me. He said, "Look out." My other brother hit me here with it, knocked me out. So I lost a lot of teeth. So when I got into high school, I knew my folks couldn't fix my teeth, so I was thinking about getting into the Navy, into the Seabees, but when I skipped a day of school, went down and signed up that Navy, I didn't do good enough for the test, so they took me to the Army.
One of his challenges and most difficult time serving came in Iraq.
But the biggest challenge was, didn't know when we went on mission, didn't know when we were going to get hit, didn't know if we were going to come back that mission. So I drove about 30,000 miles in Iraq. Drove 30 missions, each one roughly around 1,000 miles each mission. We had to deal with IEDs of any sort.
While he was in Thailand, he and his crew were relief support behind the scenes, but were a valuable asset to the team during the Vietnam War. He says it could have been worse for those in Vietnam if the relief team wouldn't have been there.
So I was stationed down in Camp Casey in Thailand with the Army, but we supported the Air Force. We hauled, and the ships brought the supplies in, and equipment for the Air Force. We delivered it, and I was in a transportation unit, so we hauled from the port to different bases throughout Thailand when I was there from 72 to 73.
After getting out of the Army, he was farming. He says he had a 12-year span where he was not serving but working in the community. Then in 1990, he joined the Army National Guard, where they eventually shipped him out to Thailand for Vietnam. While in Thailand, they did come up against something they did not expect.
And all of a sudden we went up like a big old log. They went up over a bump like a big log, and here was a big old python snake we drove over. And this made the snake mad, and he started chasing us down the road. And so when he stepped on it, I about fell out because I was right under there, and they grabbed me to keep me in. But that was something else. Big old snake, probably about that big around, went across the road.
Furthermore, while in the Guard, he also got to go overseas to Japan and train with different branches of the military.
They had a program in the Guard here in Minot, they called Keep Up, where I was, they had, Guard troops could go to an active duty post and train with the active duty for a while. So I had an opportunity to go to Okinawa, so I jumped on it and met another guy from another, I think he was out of Fargo unit, and they flew us over there, and we trained with the Special Forces over there.
Starting in Mohall, Strandberg has been all over the world and back again. Reporting for KX, I'm Corbin Warnock.
And he got at least a few stories out of the deal. Strandberg is now back working on the farm. He retired from the Army National Guard in 2007.